Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I have to say, it's always such a hassle to put on all of this equipment. Little later happenstance here, I've got to get it looked at as my gloves almost fall off. I've got a fuel leak coming out of the back of the tank somewhere, and it's probably something I did when I put that deal back down on the bottom of it. But my jacket's buzzing me, telling me it's time to take off, so let's get that done. Okay, let's record. These gloves, the other thing I didn't mention about that little quick warm-up to these gloves is that they are touch sensitive, supposedly. There's a little thing on the fingerprint that allows you to be touch sensitive, but like a lot of other touch sensitive gloves, the contact area is a little, how to put it, it's just a trifle clumsy to get to. Okay, coming down my steep driveway here, clear ahead. Let's roll. And I think I found out the issue with some of the problems I had with the audio I was recording on the Vespa ride, and that is I had it on Standard Mic Plus, the GoPro setting. And Standard Mic Plus, GoPro doesn't allow you to go in and set individual gain for audio recordings to a level. It gives you two settings, well, four if you count. There's two major settings. That is the standard mic and powered mic. Both of them will work quite well with the system. And the subsets to those are Standard Mic Plus and Powered Mic Plus. And what those do is they add gain. That is, the microphone puts a little extra power into the incoming audio signal. I found that the Standard Plus and the Powered Mic Plus actually work pretty well in a garage environment, in a quiet enclosed environment. The problem is out on the bike that they put a little too much. Ooh, I hate going over those things. I'm not going to do it. Put a little too much gain into it,
performance
and
levels,
you can overwhelm the system. So you get this feedback. That's my imitation of mic feedback. Tell me how you think I did. And so the when you're giving a narration, and of course all my narration is sparkling and well worth listening to, but when you're giving a narration, it gets drowned out by that feedback. Oh boy, let's see if I can actually have tripped the system here. Let me get a little further up. Did it work? You never know. So that's why, and that's why it's so weird, because that particular setting works good at a stop, or as I say, in a closed environment in the garage, but it does not work at all in a dynamic environment with the ambient noise that you get of the motorcycle. So that is why I had that issue. And you've got to go down a couple of, you don't go down menu levels, but you've got to go into the GoPro settings to access that individual point on the mic. And it's easy to forget in between usages. So, but anyhow, we found the cause, and of course, as is per usual, we're not going to know if we solved it completely until I get back to Wistful Vistas and download this content and see how the audio turns out. But I have high hopes, as I hope you do. So we'll open her up a little bit. Can't open up too much because we're on city streets. we'll get rolling along here, because there's a question I want to share with my followers here, and I would like some input on it. I love kicking that thing down. And there's some feedback I'd appreciate from all of you on this. By the way, neutral is getting easier and easier to find on Tony Thunder as the bike. I guess you could put it wears in, gets a little more, a few more miles under its belt, smooths out and things. Oopsie, thought I was about ready to go. I'm glad I looked. That's very nice. I spend less time fumbling around at a stop sign or a stop light. Don't go, truck, don't go. Thank you. Okay, we have clear sailing. Close the face pack there. Okay, so what do I want to ask? Here's the situation. I have two really top-tier motorcycles. That is, of course, the famous full carbon Ducati Panigale and Tony Thunder here. And Tony is been in my possession since new, June of 2017. It is a 2017 model. And the reality is I don't necessarily need two motorcycles. I don't need two motorcycles. I ride for fun. I just ride around the neighborhood. And for the past little while, I've been looking at the two that I have and thinking, well, if you have two, what if you consolidate it to one? Or what if you got another one? So question number one to you who are following is, how do you feel about the whole two motorcycle thing? They're not expensive necessarily for me at my age. I don't pay a whole lot of insurance. I guess they figure whatever happens to me is my own darn fault. I'm not sure they think that. They love me. I know the insurance companies love me. I could have two machines. Now, the one that is going to go without a doubt is the Panigale. Panigale is very extreme. It's I've shared my opinion before that it's not really a street machine, and using it on the street is not a recognition or a full realization of its potential. I really don't care who you are. Maybe a moto journalist that can find the right combination of twisty roads and things to do it, but certainly not me. The other issue is that at my vintage, I'm not going to say age, I'm not going to say I'm old, I'm just going to say at my vintage, the actuality is that, oh, here we go. Well, there's another truck. Is that I can't physically spend all that much time on it anyway. So it is for me an hour or two ripping around pretending I'm somebody I'm not, an expert motorcycle rider or a motorcycle rider, and been getting off and realizing that I'm not as young as the average person, if there is an average for that is going to buy and use that Panigale. So the questions go to then, so two bikes or one. The Panigale, pardon that, the Panigale is the one that's going to go. And what, let your imagination run wild, what would I get as either a second bike or a replacement bike for the two that I have? So I've been thinking along the lines of machines that are out there. Now it happens to be the 2021, almost post-COVID here. There are several new edition really nice machines that are being brought to market. There is a third generation KTM, and by all accounts that's really quite the machine. Never ridden the Duke, the Super Duke, so-called Super Duke, never have. Sat on a couple, thought they were a little tall, but certainly you could get used to them and ride them, and I respect them a great deal just by reading the reviews and seeing what they've done. There is a new BMW S1000 single R. The double R has been out since the beginning of the year, the 2021. The new single R makes use of a lot of the tech and motor changes that were incorporated on the single R. Not much more power, but a little friendlier street engineering, and certainly the tech has increased quite a bit. There's a larger TFT display, etc., etc. Those of you who followed my channel for a while know that I had a 2014 BMW S1000R for a while, and always really did enjoy that machine. I really did like that bike. Now, people that talk about the BMW say, "Oh, well, you get all the reliability and everything like that." And I have to say that my BMW was not trouble-free. The advantage being that there's dealers quite close to me, but then there are dealers quite close to me for Aprilia and Ducati as well. So, but that machine actually, probably of the machines that I've had, gave me some issues. You can read my review video or look at my review video on that and see. Also, there is a new gen Aprilia Tuono out, and this one also has a larger TFT display. It also benefits from improved tech. It also does not boast a whole lot of increase in horsepower, kind of common to all three. I think Euro 5 has upset the horsepower upward ascension chart, but it is still, this thing's a rocket ship. Best down from almost idle following this van, by the way. So that one would be on the radar. There is a new issue of the Triumph Big Triple. I think it's the Speed Triple that is turning heads, and that's supposed to be quite the machine. Again, I have a couple of dealerships in close proximity to me for Triumph, so I wouldn't feel badly about selecting those either. And it seems to me I had one other that was kind of floating around the back of my mind. Oh yeah, let's not forget, just mentioning Ducati, the famous Ducati. And once you get into the Ducati and the whole Italian bike thing, let's be honest, there's a little bit of an emotional appeal there. Somebody cue up the Italian national anthem right now. So Ducati. So Ducati has issued a new Super Sport 950S, and part of the story of Tony Thunder is that I actually put a deposit on the first generation Ducati Super Sport. I wanted it in the silk white, and it never came in, and I wandered into Grand Prix Motorcycles near downtown San Diego, and they were back ordered. I guess it was a pretty successful model launch, and they didn't have any, didn't know when they were going to have any, and so therefore I ended up walking out the door, not walking, riding out the door with this 2017 Aprilia, which I've never regretted. And the new Super Sport is getting pretty good reviews too. I did test ride the old generation Super Sport, and I thought it was a fine machine. I really did. I love the idea. Okay, naked bikes are nice. They get you in an upright position, but it's fun to see that fairing and look at it. It is pretty cool to have a faired machine, and that Super Sport would fool all my friends. I could just tell them, oh yeah, that's a total super bike, and they don't know the difference now. They think this is a Harley, so they're not going to say anything. So don't do that very often. I'm too busy. So that Super Sport falls into the range. The other one, before I leave the big bombshell off at the end, is of course, the V2. There's a new V2. Now, it's also a lay-down crotch rocket, if you will. But it's a little more amenable to street riding. It would satisfy my pretend Super Sport guy. And it is a beautiful machine. It's absolutely gorgeous. So that one. Then, of course, the pinnacle, probably of all of them, would be the V4S Streetfighter. And that one, of course, would be, I say the pinnacle, it would be the ace predator, apex predator, out of all those machines I'm considering. By the way, isn't this a lovely one of my private Nurburgrings? So that one is pretty gorgeous and pretty awesome. Problem being for that thing, in California, out the door with taxes and etc., you are talking really close to $30,000. Let's see if we can't do a little quick jump on these feet. We can. So that's like a $10,000 premium over the latest Aprilia. And is that Streetfighter $10,000 more fun than the Aprilia? And of course it's going to cost more to own and operate and everything else. Now, there's no doubt that is the bike, I think, of the last 2 years in the naked category. I think that Streetfighter is just absolutely awesome. But you still have to think about that money. So I'm going to wrap all this up right now and ask you all, you tell me your opinion. I'm not necessarily going to follow it, but I will certainly listen to it. So you tell me your opinion. Is the selection I have outlined here and the choices, one bike or two, and those bikes, those other bikes anyway, can't never tell, are they, which of those appeals to you? Now I want you to think of the appeal of those independent of whether I have one bike or two. I'd like you to think of them that way, because it's not necessarily mutually exclusive that it would be one bike or two, but I'd like you to think of it that way, independent of one bike or two. Give me your opinion. Tell me why. Your opinion again. What do you like about one of those versus the others? And you stopping? What an ending to be hit by a Federal Express truck. At least they could mail you home. Let me know your opinion. Tell me about it. Tell me what you think. And we'll start a lively little engagement here. And it is before too long that I'm going to begin the process of selling. I don't think I'm going to use the word getting rid of, because you can't get rid of that spirit, that V4S spirit, before I start the process of moving on from the Ducati V4S. So let me know. Tell me what you think. In the meantime, enjoy the ride. We'll keep it going for a few moments.